If you have trouble hearing on the phone, the CapTel Caption Telephone lets you stay in touch with the people who matter most.
I'd love to come over for dinner.
Great. Mom says to come over around 5.
CapTel works with a free phone service to show captions of everything your caller says. To learn more about the CapTel phone, call 1-866-990-4499 or go to our website, CapTel. Enjoy the phone again.
So much being said these days about communication. Of course, right here in the village, changes taking place in the phone system for many people. We've got Alle Rhames joining us again today from CapTel. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, communication is so important for everybody, and I know that was one of the big changes in America back in the day when people were able to get telephones. You know, before that it was Pony Express and telegraph, and
Exactly.
I know my father grew up in a rural town out in Colorado, and his parents ran the post office, had the only phone in town.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and that was just, you know, a little over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So
A lot of changes.
a lot of changes. Now everybody carries their phone and everything else in their hand.
Constant communication.
But for the home user, the traditional telephone still works for a lot of people. You've got a take on the original phone that's a step above, a much better phone than the average, just one we hang on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's got a little screen on it. Now you're going to explain to us briefly what the whole idea behind CapTel is.
Yeah, I'll give you a little behind the scenes idea that basically CapTel is a telephone for anyone with hearing loss, any level of hearing loss, moderate to severe. It is an amplified telephone that also has a screen on it. So it literally writes out captions of everything that's being said from the incoming caller. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful. If you can't hear certain syllables, certain consonants, you can simply refer to the screen. You can also use the volume control that's right on the base of the phone. It's extremely user-friendly, and it's just fantastic. It's changed a lot of people's lives.
So if I'm talking to my son in Colorado, it would be, "Hi Dad, how's everything in California?" And that would be actually typed out on the screen.
Right there on the screen, displays
Yeah.
captions within 2 seconds, and actually as people normally pause with their normal speech,
Right.
it catches up very fast. So
Most of our viewers are aware for the last couple of years, this program and a few others of our shows here on Channel 6 have been closed captioned. That's being done by an individual, kind of like a court reporter, typing live. Does this use a similar technology, or is this voice recognition? How does this work technically?
I'm glad you brought that up. So it is very different because captions on the TV are great. They're wonderful to work, but they're very inaccurate sometimes, I shall say that. This is a voice recognition software program. It's the most up-to-date, accurate program. So we use that program with also a caller assistant. So the program is trained to the assistant's voice, and that provides a 98% accuracy. Mm-hmm. And when there actually is a slight problem on the screen, or if there's an inaccurate word, it live corrects itself in a different color. So it comes out fantastically fast, and you're able to see, oh wait, I see the correct word.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of times, you know, as you can imagine in this community with so many activities to do, all the clubhouses, all the activities here in the village, people are not home 24 hours a day. If they're not at home and a phone call comes in, does this handle it like a regular phone? Do you get a busy signal? How does that work?
Great question again. It's just like a regular phone. If you currently have call waiting, it will act just like the rest of your phones do. It will beep. If you need an answering machine, there's a built-in answering machine right in the phone itself, which is fantastic. A lot of times people have trouble hearing the messages that people leave. They're on their cell phones, on the freeway, it's crackling. These messages will actually be captioned out on the screen of the phone. It's fantastic.
Good. So even if it's a recorded message, you missed a call while you were out for the afternoon, it'll play back both in your ear and also on the screen.
Exactly, it'll do both.
Great. And I said in the headline segment today, you know, a lot of times you get a call, and even though you're maybe in your office or in your den where the phone is or your computer is, you're looking for a pen, you're looking for a pencil, someone's giving you a phone number at lightning speed and you're trying to write it down, you get it wrong, it's going to be right there on the screen.
Right there on the screen, and the fact that our phone actually saves up to 500 lines.
Yeah.
You go back and you can refer to those 500 lines, about 5 to 6 long conversations. A doctor's appointment, it suddenly got changed, and you hang up the phone and you say, gosh, I didn't write that down. What time is that appointment at? You can go back and review that conversation and actually see what time the appointment's going to be.
Yeah, was it the 3rd or was it the 13th? And yeah, was it 5:30 or 4:30? And yeah, so that's very, very important indeed. So it's actually captioning real time, just like the person's speaking.
Exactly.
Now, is it going to give my side of the conversation or just the person I'm talking to?
It's actually just going to be the incoming callers, and I always find that it would be a little bit too confusing if it was doing both. This way, it's just what you're hearing or not hearing, and then referred to the screen.
You know, to me, this sounds like a really user-friendly system, and I think you folks have spent a lot of time designing it with, I mean, just a little things like the buttons are a little bit bigger than a regular phone. There's an amplifier built into the hearing device. If someone does use a hearing aid, I'm understanding that this is compatible with that as well.
Completely hearing aid compatible. In fact, the handset base and the top base is formed to fit with a hearing aid. It's made to have that comfort, friendly earpiece. A lot of times people with hearing aids will use phones and come to me and complain that it's really uncomfortable with the ear. So not only are you getting the no squeal sound, you're also getting the comfort of the handset on your ear.
Yeah, and you're also seeing it on the screen as well.
Oh, and seeing it on the screen, yes.
If you have somebody visiting you or a helper or a grandkid or somebody, they won't have a problem. They can use it like a regular phone as well, correct?
Just like a regular phone. You simply turn the caption button on and off, and that's it. It will literally work like a regular phone.
Do you need to have a special provider for your phone service, since there are many of those out there? Are you the phone provider?
That's a great question. We are not the phone provider, which actually works out to people's benefits. Whatever phone provider they already have, it will work with.
Okay.
So it does not require them to change any sort of phone provider. There are no extra fees for the captioning service, which is what displays on the screen of the phone, and they're able to keep the same phone provider.
I'm looking at the back, and it's got line in, it's got an Ethernet connection, and then a power connection. Is internet access required to make this work? We
have two models of the phone. This specific model, they both look alike. This specific model will use internet and a regular phone line. It also uses VoIP, it can use BIOS, it can basically use whatever they have. So it does require that high-speed internet connection. We come in and do free installations, free demos, so they're able to go ahead and not have to worry about the setup. If someone does not have internet, there are other options that I would be able to talk about with them.
Right, right. Well, as you know, many of our folks here in the community do have the internet service, either from again from a provider or that we provide in-house that's available as well. So whether you do or you don't, CapTel will work for you. Sounds like a fantastic opportunity. And what if we have multiple phones in our house? A lot of us have a system that has maybe a base station and then 2 or 3 other phones. This would take the place of just one of those phones, right?
Exactly. It actually works perfectly with that base and all those extensions. Yesterday, I went and installed a phone for somebody that wanted to keep one of their bases right there on the desk with them, and I was able to hook the CapTel right next to it. He wanted both right there. They work perfectly together.
I think this says something as well, which sort of we missed in the discussion, is that you install these. I know a lot of times you'll go to a discount store or electronics store, and you'll say, oh, I like this one, I'll take that one. And they hand you a box and ask for your credit card. And they give you this box, and it's got things and wires and stuff in it. And then you have to go home and play electrician and hook it all up. For some people, not a problem. For others, it might be a little challenging. You take care of that for them as well.
We take care of all of it, and I know that for some people it isn't a problem, but just to offer that comfort level to know that we'll come in and we will take care of everything for you, and we'll give you a free demo, we'll give you free training. I won't leave that person's house until I know they're comfortable using that phone.
Good, that's great. Is there any maintenance required on this, other than just, I guess, wipe it off occasionally?
Yeah, I always say if you spill something on it, it might cause a little deterioration. There's a 5-year warranty, so there's absolutely nothing to worry about. You also get a 90-day trial period, so you have 90 days to try it out.
So really what they're doing is they're buying this unit. They're not changing their phone service. They're not changing any of those things. They're just buying this. It would be as if they went to a electronics store or a phone store and bought a new phone.
Exactly.
Is what they're doing here.
Exactly.
Sounds like a really good opportunity. If you want to find out more about CapTel, we do have their number on the screen, whether you're using your cell phone, your old phone, or your new phone. Give them a call, 310-260-9366. And you or one of your coworkers will answer the phone.
We definitely will.
Get them set up. Great. Allie, so much. We appreciate you being with us today. Thanks for joining us on the program. Allie Rhames with CapTel, a unique phone and something you might want to consider for improving your communications as well. More guests coming up on our program for today. Stay with us.